The life that I have is all that I have, and the life that I have is yours. The love that I have of the life that I have is yours and yours and yours. A sleep I shall have, a rest I shall have, yet death will be but a pause. For the peace of my years in the long green grass will be yours and yours and yours.
Honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who have an adequate vintage may well feel your blood run cold when you see an Englishman just returned from Germany waving a piece of paper with words of goodwill on it. Have no fear, history is not about to repeat itself. For a start, I'm no politician, my wife would be first to tell you that. And the people who sent the message are not driven by a foul doctrine, but are historians, archivists, intellectuals determined to document and display every last detail of the dark history of Ravensbrück concentration camp. Their motivation is widespread, and they are intensely dedicated to their work, which will ensure that no one in this generation or any succeeding generation will ever be able to deny what happened there. Then, of course, there's always the hope that maintaining the memory of Ravensbrück's grim past will ensure the like never happens again. Some of you may have visited Auschwitz. You'll certainly remember if you have. The message from there is loud and clear. It is, look what the Nazis did to people of Europe. The message screams at you. For Auschwitz, now a museum, is in Poland and is administered by Polish people. Yes, the message is loud and clear. The message from Rosemary's museum here, the Violette Szabo GC Memorial Museum, is also loud and clear and carved with pride. It is, look what Violette and her contemporaries did for the Allies in World War II, in particular the liberation of France. The message is loud and clear. The message from Ravensbrück is more difficult. For Ravensbrück is in Germany and is administered by German people. One can only imagine what difficulties that presents, and it is perhaps a surprise that it exists at all, but it does. Literally, they have a hell of a legacy. Dr Ensa Eschebach, the director, Dr Sabine Arendt, the exhibition coordinator, and their many colleagues work each day in what was once that God-forsaken hellhole where life meant nothing, in order to preserve the memories of that place. We shall never forget Violette Szabo, Denise Bloch, Lilian Rolfe, and Cicely Lefort. But it is true to say they are but 4 out of a little short of 100,000 predominantly women and children who were executed at Ravensbrück. Nevertheless, the 4 SOE women are very prominent in the magnificently displayed exhibition, and as such their memory is cemented there. Perhaps this address will stimulate among you the thoughts of a pilgrimage, where you'd see for yourselves that we should indeed acknowledge their current administration for this work. They are doing the same job that we are doing, but from the other side of World War II. In a moment, I shall read to you a most touching and sensitive letter of remorse from their director. It was received here a short while ago and has has stimulated considerable media interest. I know you will listen to it in respectful silence. But immediately afterwards, there is a great opportunity for us all to respond loudly as a group. That response will be relayed back to Ravensbrück by way of these cameras, as a demonstration of our respect for their current work and for their sentiment. After all, where is more poignant for such a message to emanate from than here, the Violette Szabo GC Memorial Museum? A response not for my humble address, but for the words that you will now hear and the work of permanent remembrance for Violette and her colleagues that is now being done at Ravensbrück. Ladies and gentlemen, this is their message. We, the staff of Ravensbrück Memorial Museum, send our greetings to all of you who have assembled today in Wormelow to honour Violette Reine Elizabeth Szabo. Ravensbrück Women's Concentration Camp was the place where Violette Szabo was deported to after her arrest in France, together with other women from the SOE like Denise Bloch, Lilian Werner Rolfe and Cicely Margot Lefort. She was imprisoned there and in the satellite camp Torgau for several months. She was executed in Ravensbrück on the 27th of January 1945, presumably in the surroundings of the crematorium. I am glad to inform you today that the biography of Violette Szabo is now part of our new permanent exhibition about the history and the memory of Ravensbrück Women's Concentration Camp. This exhibition was opened in April 2013 and attracts many new visitors from all over the country and from abroad. In 900 square meters and in 34 rooms, a new museological center was erected. In German and in English, visitors to the site can inform themselves about the history of Ravensbrück as being the biggest concentration camp for women in the German Reich. The fate of the prisoners from all over Europe is presented, as well as information about the living conditions, the solidarity among the prisoners and the forced labor they had to do. On the ground floor, 2 rooms inform about the murder campaigns in the last month of the camp. In this room, we remember all women and men and children who have been killed in the camp, those who have been gassed, and those who have been shot. Biography of Violette Szabo has found its place in this room, so we hope that the history of her and all the brave women who fought against Nazi Germany is brought in mind to our visitors. We are very grateful for the support of Tania Szabo for this exhibition. We would also like to thank the Violette Szabo Society for the increasing cooperation in the last years, and the visits of members and friends of the Society and the Violette Szabo Museum to Ravensbrück Memorial Museum. After all cruelties and crime Germans did to people all over Europe and also to your country, we are very grateful for all steps of working together that strengthen peace and friendship between us. In our thoughts, we are across national borders with you today, and we bow our heads before the dead in deep respect. Ladies and gentlemen, for these brave words and for their current work of remembrance, now let us send our message back to Ravensbrück.